came earlier, I was in a meeting with a department which has always existed, but it was not functional. This is the counseling department, which is under Pastor Mrs. H. Dube. She may come forward. She may come forward. She will come forward, stand here and face the people. Hallelujah. And we've got Brother Ndlovu. He will also come forward. And we've got Brother Owen Chiambiro. Brother Owen Chiambiro. He's going to come forward. And we've got Sister Tandegile Nyat. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So for the time being, this is the first cohort of the people in the counseling department. There are 3 substantive ones. And then Brother Khotso, we're going to move him to a department which I want to launch very soon, towards the end of August. When we come back from Kenya, we're going to launch campus ministry, so you will be at campus ministry. But for the time being, you will be in the counseling department. So that's why I'm saying there are 3 substantive and 1 auxiliary. Hallelujah. So this is the counseling department. At the end of the service, I'm going to lead some people to Christ if they will be there. If they are not there, then whenever we lead people to Christ, they will then be introduced to us as a church and also to the body of Christ by this team. They will act as a bridge between people who are unsaved and the saved. They will act as a bridge between people who are not Christians or people who are unbelievers and people who are believers, as represented by our local church. And this model will be replicated in all of our branches. We will make sure that we liaise with Pastor Lindan, with Pastor Mahlaulu, with Pastor Zimunya, and the leader that we are going to appoint substantively for our Nairobi branch, so that we have got the counseling department. So we thank God. So at the end of the church service, I'm going to lay hands on them and anoint them. But there will be a proper day when we will inaugurate the department. Hallelujah. You may go back to your places. Let us clap hands for God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So I've got some announcements that have been prepared by our church administration, because I think it's obvious that I can't run this church alone. It's impossible, actually. So these next 2 announcements, I believe they've already been made, but I'm just rehashing them. We have got an invoice of the web hosting company. You see our website, www.divinekingdombaptist.org. It's hosted by a company which is called Wix, W-I-X. So there are 2 things to a website. There is a web hosting company which has got servers, servers in the cloud, which are normally mounted on a Linux framework, for those who know information systems. So Wix is the one which provides us those live servers for you when you are looking for our information, for you to be able to find us on the internet. So it's Wix. That's the company. So, and then there is a domain. Even if you create a name, a website name in your own personal name, still you have to, when it is created on the internet, it is created by certain websites which already exist. You can't just create something on your own when you are an operator on the internet and then it's completely your own. So the domain, you buy it. You can create a website name and then it's rejected by the systems, the transmission protocols and other protocols of hosting websites. So there is a domain and then there is the website. So the website is where you find information about a particular person or a particular organization on the internet. So the domain has got its own renewal date and the monies that are needed. And then the website, we are on the premium plan because our activities are many. We do a lot of things, and if you look at our website, it is very dynamic. It's not a static website. We're always changing things. You can actually watch things there. There are tabs that lead to other websites. So we're on the premium plan because of the size of our operations. So that's why we've got an invoice which is supposed to be settled this month of $720. That's the first point. So in the past, we used to pay these monies from the general purpose fund, but for reasons which we do not know, maybe it's prayer and fasting, we don't know. The income this month, or the money that we're able to gather this month, it has been seriously constrained, but it won't stop us from prayer and fasting. Hallelujah. Yes. So we have got an invoice for the website, which is due to a company called Wix of $720. And then also we have been paying rent, the rent of this place from the general purpose fund. As you can see, we're occupying very big space. And at this space, we are occupying it 24/7. That's why on Wednesdays you see us here. Any other time, the Women's Fellowship meeting, present worship were done here. So anytime I do meetings, one-on-one counseling with people at the office. So this place is ours, 24/7. So the rentals that we pay in a month, it's not much, but it is actually much because most people don't earn US dollars in Zimbabwe. Those who earn US dollars as an allowance, they earn a pittance, what we call a pittance in English. So our rentals per month, they are 1,000 US dollars at the present moment. We are paying 1,000 US dollars. So all along, again, we have been gathering your offerings, these monies that you give, and then we collect these offerings. At the end of the month, we net off our expenses, including the rentals for this place. So this money was due last week, I think on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So we're not able to pay it because we have not gathered all the money that is needed. So that's why we're making this announcement, so that those who want to partner the ministry in contributing regularly money for rent, that money will be related to what they call a vote in an organization. Because their money is for the building, money is for evangelism, money is for fuel, money is for so many things, money is for equipment, money is to pay all sorts of things in a ministry like this one. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So those who want to partner the ministry in paying for this venue, so that we don't violate the terms of our lease agreement, you may assist us. If you are here physically, you can contact Pastor Mbusi. He's our administrator. He, together with other people in the secretariat, they will register your name and your commitment so that they can make a follow-up. It's difficult to wait for money which is coming at random when you have got a bill which is systematic. Hallelujah. So I don't want to belabor that point. We know that the people of God are going to respond. Hallelujah. We have been sometimes caught in a situation where you have to take money which was contributed for the building project at Newton West to rent, because here if you don't pay rent, they chuck you out. Hallelujah. Yes, they give you a notice, and before you know it, we will lose all of these renovations that we did. So we know there will be people who will be committed to that. And those monies will go to the budget for these premises. Yes. And then we have got the Nairobi trip. In the Nairobi trip, we have got a challenging situation. There are people who had pledged to pay for certain specific people in that trip. So the challenge that we have is that other pledges were paid and tickets were bought for the rest of the people, serve for one person. So we have been waiting for pledges, and now we realize the month is coming to an end, and that flight that is going to Kenya from Harar, it might become fully booked because it's filling in very fast. So we need monies to book for one person, a cameraman. We have got one of our camera people who is quite experienced, and he also manages the server, because for us to have a channel on free-to-air, that channel is managed by people who are IT specialists who manage the server, the scheduling and the posting of videos on the server, so that the content doesn't just appear haphazardly. So this camera person that we're talking about is also an IT specialist. He's here within the congregation. I want to mention his name. Maybe he has been mentioned, but I myself, I want to mention his name. So we need to go with him, because so far, in the media department, we've got only one person, and the people who have registered in Kenya, there are many who are intending to come to the revival. There are many, to such an extent that we are thinking of booking three halls in that hotel where we will be meeting. So we'll need someone who will be coordinating the camera work, and also in the evenings after service, or even during the service, who will be uploading the videos to YouTube and to Facebook. So we can't afford to leave this person. We're quiet thinking people will honor their pledges. When people pledge, you can't akuthoniseki imali ethenjiswe ngabazalwane. Hallelujah. Isikwerede kuNkulunkulu. Hallelujah. Siyahlupha isikwerede sechurch. Sifuna abafundisi abangani balobuso bukwanisa ukuhwaqa. It needs pastors who are able to frown. With me, I frown when there is a purpose. So if a person pledges to pay money, an honest Christian pledges to pay money, with me, I tend to think on the good side.